Front Row Motorsports confirms they've purchased a third Cup Series charter. Let's break it down. Instant reaction. How's it going, y'all? My name is Eric. Welcome to Out of the Groove, New Year's Eve special. Don't have any major plans tonight, so instead, how about we talk about some breaking NASCAR news? Front Row Motorsports tweeted this afternoon, big news for 2025. Quote, Front Row has finalized the purchase of our third charter from Stewart-Haas Racing. Announcements on driver, car number, and additional partners will be coming soon. Remember, Front Row Motorsports had their preliminary injunction request granted, meaning they can compete as a chartered team in 2025. The judge also ruled that NASCAR must approve the charter transfer between Stewart-Haas and Front Row. That's what this is about. Front Row Motorsports has officially purchased that third charter. Now, I know what some of y'all are saying. What about the appeal? NASCAR is expected to appeal the injunction results. That timetable is still TBD. If NASCAR does win their appeal, the court has the right to, as they put it, unwind the results of the injunction, meaning Front Row could be forced to sell this charter either back to NASCAR or to another Cup Series team. We also can't forget that 2311 Racing is also involved in this ongoing lawsuit, but I want to focus in on Front Row Motorsports. Barring a successful NASCAR appeal, they now have 3 charters, will have 3 full-time Cup Series entries in 2025, and they've got a hell of a young driver lineup. I did a whole video before Christmas honing in on each driver. They are extremely young. The average age of all 5 drivers Front Row Motorsports currently has under contract is 23.8. Barely out of college, these guys. Todd Gilliland going into year 3. Took a big jump, I believe, in year 2. Crew chief Chris Lawson is joining him. Lawson won a Truck Series championship just a couple years ago with Front Row Motorsports. Spent the last season in Cup with Rick Ware Racing. Noah Gragson joins Front Row Motorsports. Remember, just a couple years ago, he had 8 Xfinity Series wins in a single season. Extremely talented. I'm anxiously awaiting their next announcement. Who is going to drive this third full-time Cup Series car? All signs point to Zane Smith. Finally, Zane Smith may be getting his legit Cup Series break. Remember years ago, I'm not sure it was ever confirmed, but rumor has it Zane Smith had a Cup Series deal in place with Chip Ganassi Racing before they sold to Trackhouse. Zane had to scramble, wound up in trucks, won a championship with Front Row Motorsports, then gets a Cup Series opportunity with Trackhouse, but not actually Trackhouse. It was a third Spire car with Trackhouse support. That's okay, multi-year deal. Eventually, he'll be in the house. Not so fast. There's a guy named Shane Van Gisbergen. Tons of momentum, tons of support. They gave him the third Trackhouse seat instead. Once again, Zane Smith, SOL, scrambling, trying to put the pieces together to prolong his NASCAR career. Third time's the charm, right? Ganassi fell through. Trackhouse lasted only 1 year. Front Row Motorsports feels like a legitimate long-term option. I don't know Zane Smith personally. I don't know his character. What I see on the racetrack is an extremely talented young driver. First half of his rookie year was a disaster. Didn't let that get him down. Second half of 2024 was pretty darn good. He had an average finish around 18th, ran similarly to Rookie of the Year Carson Hocevar. Zane Smith figured it out second half of 2024. He's been in the Front Row system before, so I hope he gets this chance. I think this could be a really strong long-term pairing. Go back almost 2 years ago. Front Row had to make a decision. Todd Gilliland or Zane Smith. They chose Todd Gilliland, and I said at the time, they may be making a mistake. Todd Gilliland then had a very good 2024, more or less proved me wrong, but if they get Zane Smith in 2025, suddenly Front Row will get to have their cake and eat it too. Win-win scenario. I hope Zane Smith to Front Row works out, but now we know for a fact Front Row Motorsports has acquired a third charter. They've acquired a charter from Stewart-Haas Racing. Big news. Glad to get that out in the open before the new year. I wonder what car numbers Front Row will field next year. We know Todd Gilliland is moving from the 38 to the 34. Love's Travel Stops will still be on board. There was a leaked rendering a few weeks back that appears to show Noah Gragson in the 434 with Stuart Haas out. Perhaps the 14. We could get the 41434. Could be. Maybe the 44? Is the 44 available? No. NY Racing may have something to say about that. The 24 is obviously off the table. Yeah, I think that sounds good. 41434. I like it. Front Row Motorsports is going to be the team to watch next year. I know I've said that a few times the past month, but the more and more I think about it, the more sure of it I become. Sure, there are other teams like Spire Motorsports. They're not hiding anything. They go out and sign Rodney Childers, Rookie of the Year Carson Hocevar. The Michael McDowell free agent move was one of the first big splashes of 2024. RFK, 2311, they're already established playoff teams. Adding a third car, that's great. Front Row Motorsports, though, is about to enter their second year since becoming a Tier 1 Ford program. They have an alliance with Team Penske, who's looking to win their fourth Cup championship in a row. Like, all of the pieces are there for Front Row Motorsports to take that next leap. If they end up running the 4 and the 14, it'd be fitting because they may become the new Stuart Haas Racing. Hopefully the new prime Stuart Haas Racing, the mid-2010s Stuart Haas Racing. I'm not suggesting they'll be there right away, come Daytona in February. Again, this lineup is extremely young. I think even if they signed Zane Smith, I think Noah Gragson might be the oldest driver under contract. How old is Noah? Like 26? It's going to take some time, but like we discussed a week or so ago, this team is built for the long term. If they get Zane Smith back alongside young Todd Gilliland, young Noah Gragson, two great development drivers in the truck series with Lane Riggs and Chandler Smith, not only is Front Row Motorsports potentially set up for the here and now, they could be set up for the future. They're developing two great young, possibly Ford drivers that could land anywhere in the not so distant future. Like Front Row Motorsports, I'll say it again, I believe is the team to watch in 2025. They're not going to win the championship. They might not even make a deep playoff run. They might be first round exits. But with all the momentum they seem to have now, 3 full-time cars, they're going to be part of the conversation come July, August, early September. They'll be on the playoff bubble. Maybe one of them or two of them will nab wins. They'll be this year's playoff spoilers should the format stay the same. I don't think that's out of the realm of possibility. Front Row Motorsports, quietly perhaps, is the team to watch. I hope this prediction goes better for me than the one I made last offseason. Last offseason, I was focused in on Legacy Motor Club, joining Toyota, John Hunter Nemechek, fresh off a dominant Xfinity Series season, joining the team. I had high hopes. They were quickly dashed. Legacy Motor Club had a terrible season. I don't think Front Row Motorsports is going to have a Legacy Motor Club type season this year. That would be shocking, but maybe they won't quite live up to the hype I'm assigning to them. Well, we'll have to wait and see. Let me know in the comments below if you agree with me that Front Row Motorsports is the sort of mid-pack team to watch in the new year. Are you keeping a closer eye on Spire, maybe Legacy Motor Club, someone else, Wood Brothers? Let me know down in the comment section below. That's going to do it. Just a quick episode here. Instant reaction to the confirmation today that Front Row Motorsports has a third charter for 2025, pending NASCAR's appeal. I got to add that little asterisk in at the end. Thanks for watching, folks. Talk to you again real soon. Happy New Year.